Since your loss, has your body started doing things that you don't recognise? Maybe you've noticed exhaustion that sleep just doesn't fix. Are you getting headaches or pains in your body? Brain fog where simple things feel harder? Stomach issues or appetite changes? Or maybe you've noticed your nervous system feels permanently on edge. Maybe you've quietly wondered, why is my body behaving like this? Most people think that grief is emotional. That's what we've been taught. Sadness, tears, heartbreak, it's all in the mind. But grief is also really physical because it can affect the brain, the nervous system, the immune system, sleep, digestion, and even the heart. When my daughter died, one of the things that surprised me most was about how much grief showed up physically. The exhaustion, the brain fog, the tension in my body. It's there now, I can feel it. Learning that those responses were part of grief helped me stop thinking that something was actually wrong with me. In this video, I want to share the physical ways that grief can live in the body. I just want to remind you, I'm not a doctor, so this isn't medical advice. If you're having any symptoms, please do get checked out by the doctor. But it's just to help you understand that actually grief can have a real profound effect on your body. If we understand what the body is doing, then we can be kinder to ourselves. The first thing that surprises a lot of people, and people don't really understand, is that grief can actually change how your brain functions day to day. Maybe you're forgetting words, you're losing your train of thought, struggling to concentrate. I still can't read a book. Feeling mentally exhausted just by simple decisions. Anything complex comes along, forget it. You get just overwhelmed. This happens because after a major loss, the brain often shifts into survival mode. Fight, flight, freeze, flop. I flop a lot. Your nervous system becomes more alert to threats. Even when life around you appears calm again, concentration and memory can really take a hit, even if you don't realise you're struggling. This isn't a failure of resilience. It's just your brain trying to protect you. The next one often surprises people too, that grief can physically affect the heart. Heartache isn't in your head, it is actually your heart. You might experience chest tightness, heart palpitations, shortness of breath. Maybe your chest feels really heavy, like someone's sitting there. There's even a recognised condition called broken heart syndrome, which can be triggered by intense emotional stress. It can feel very similar to a heart attack. Do please get medical attention if you have symptoms similar to a heart attack. Now, this doesn't happen to everyone, but it does remind us of something really important, that loss is experienced by the body as shock, and your heart can respond to that. The next one is something a lot of people experience, and it can be expected, but people expect it to be over quicker than it often is. Crying. And crying during grief can feel overwhelming because sometimes it can arrive suddenly when you're not expecting it. And sometimes you can cry and feel completely drained afterwards. Crying's not only emotional, it's physical. Your tears help regulate your nervous system and release stress hormones. Your body's trying to process something that words can't always hold. And now there's no right amount of crying. Your body finds its own way. Some people cry a lot and some people cry not at all. Me, most of the time, I just cry on holiday. Something else that might be surprising to some people, grief can often change our relationship with food. Some people lose their appetite entirely and food can taste different. Eating might feel like an effort. Others might notice they eat more frequently or they comfort eat. This happens because the gut and the brain are closely connected. Stress and grief can disrupt digestion, hunger signals, and how the body processes nutrients, which is why sometimes people experience symptoms like nausea, bloating, stomach discomfort, changes in weight. And this isn't about discipline, it's about the body adjusting to stress. Be kind to yourself. Me, I get cravings for spicy food and I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but I feel like there's something to do with wanting to feel something, but I'll explore that more. Now let me just check, because I want to ask you something. I want to know if you've noticed any physical changes in your body since your loss. Even simply recognising them can be helpful to your recovery. If you feel comfortable, you could share it in the comments. Your experience might help someone else who maybe feels alone. But anyway, 5, lowered immune system. Many grieving people notice something that they maybe don't connect with grief. They might get sick more often. Colds linger that bit longer, and the fatigue becomes constant on days when they don't even feel like they've done a lot. Long-term emotional stress can suppress your immune function. Your body's using so much energy to process your loss, which means less energy is available for physical defence. Rest during grief isn't indulgent, it's necessary. Listen to your body. 6, body pain and tension. This next one is very common. Grief often shows up as physical pain, whether that's headaches, jaw tension, neck and shoulder tightness. Honestly, mine aches in the body. Sometimes people say they don't remember injuring themselves. Why does everything hurt? They didn't do any exercise yesterday, but they feel like they did. Emotional stress can lead to muscles staying tense. The body's holding on to more than it has capacity for. Pain doesn't always mean damage. Sometimes it means overload. 7, sleep disruption. This is a big one for me. Sleep and grief often become complicated. Some people struggle to fall asleep, while others wake frequently through the night. Some people sleep much more than usual, but yet still feel exhausted. I wake up every 2 or 3 hours. If I sleep for 4 hours in one go, that's amazing. Grief keeps your nervous system partially alert, particularly if it's been a traumatic loss. Your body is trying to process something that changed everything, which is why exhaustion is one of the most common physical experiences of grief. You are really not alone. Something that's helped me during times when my nervous system felt constantly on edge was using a weighted blanket or sometimes a weighted lap pad. Not because it fixes grief, but it does help you feel grounded. I use it when I'm filming my videos. I do have an Amazon storefront, so I've linked the one that I use. If it feels like it might be something that's helpful for you, have a look. There's no pressure to buy or anything, but just sometimes it can help to look at what's helped others. 8, hormonal and nervous system shifts. Grief can affect your regulation systems across the body. People sometimes notice maybe feeling wired but exhausted, sudden temperature changes, sweating or shakiness, and menstrual cycle changes. Menopause symptoms may become stronger. These changes are connected to how grief affects your nervous system and stress hormones, which is why keeping routines and trying to get as much rest as you can support your body more than pushing productivity. 9, numbness, heaviness, or disconnection. This final one is often the hardest to describe. Some people experience a physical heaviness, others feel emotionally numb or disconnected, almost like they're moving through life slightly outside themselves. This can be a protective response called dissociation. The mind is creating space when emotions just feel too overwhelming. With time and with safety, this can often soften. If you can take one thing from this conversation, let it be this. If grief is not just something you feel emotionally, it is something your whole body experiences. And many of those physical symptoms of grief are not signs that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that something significant has happened to you. Let me know in the comments, what symptoms have you had that you weren't expecting? Is your body feeling unfamiliar right now? If it is, please be gentle with it. Be kind to yourself. It's doing its best to carry something really enormous. Please let me know. And what have you done to help yourself with your symptoms? And if this video has helped you, please just drop a heart. Don't need to say a word, just drop a heart. Thank you.